Today we are taking a look at the Venezianico. No, it's Venezianico.
That's
why are you talking in that fake ass Italian accent? Stop it. Today we are taking a look at the Venezianico. Let's get started. This is the Venezianico Arsenale, or as I would say it, the Arsenal. Depending on where you live, technically both are correct, but which pronunciation you choose to use depends largely on just how far of a journey you are willing to allow Venezianico to take you on. And for me, that is all the way to the streets and canals of Venice. Before we get too deep into this video, I want to take a second and share one of the most eloquent descriptions I have ever heard when listening to someone describe the way a watch could make them feel. Take a listen to John Mayer.
I like watches that remind me of a person I have never been.
I like watches that remind me of a person that I have never been. I absolutely love that. I love this so much because adulthood has a way of robbing us from the imagination required to think this way. Venezianico does this for me. But instead of the person I have never been, it's the place that I have never experienced. This is a watch brand that will make you long to rediscover a city that it's possible you may have never discovered in the first place. Inspired by the Venetian experience, Venezianico has blended the art of watchmaking with the story of Venezia, or as we say here in the US, Venice. It is in the name, it is in the designs, it's even in the logo. This same inspiration can be found in every aspect of what this brand does. Whether it's the Redentore paying tribute to the architecture of Andrea Pallladio, or the Nereide, Venezianico's dive watch that's named after submarines built for the Royal Italian Navy during the 1930s. My personal favorite, the Bucintoro, named after the Venetian state barge of the same name that were used by the Doges of Venice dating all the way back to the 1300s. And the one that we have in hand today, the Arsenale, inspired by the Arsenale di Venezia, an ancient shipyard that during the 16th century was the most efficient shipbuilding enterprise in the entire world, capable of building a fully equipped naval vessel in a single day, a feat that took other states months to complete. This was done through a system of moving the ships through the canals during various stages of construction, a system that would take centuries for the rest of the world to catch up when Henry Ford pioneered what we know today as the moving assembly line. Coming in at 40 millimeters with a lug-to-lug of 44 millimeters, the size of the Arsenale falls in that sweet spot that will work on just about any wrist. Turn it on its side and take a look at that. 8.95 millimeters, including the crystal. I have no words for just how thin this watch is. It's just something that needs to be experienced in person, but does bring me to my very first gripe about this watch: no secondhand. In order to come in with a case thickness under 9 millimeters, Venezianico decided to go with the Miyota 9029. It's a movement that, according to Caliber Corner, is one of Miyota's premium lines. It tells the time via a two-hand display only, meaning that it is impossible to install a second hand. I will admit that when I first discovered Venezianico, I was a little bit bummed that they had chose to go with a non-Swiss movement, but after seriously considering it, I'm thinking that I'm glad that they did. Not everyone has a ton of money to drop on a watch, so it's nice to see a watch of this caliber offered at this price point, something that would have had to have gone up had they had chose to go with a Swiss movement. Just take a look at that finish. Remember, these are macro shots, and while I will admit under magnification there is some room for improvement, you can't tell it with the naked eye. Brushing looks great. Polishing, mirror finish. For me, honestly, the polish is a little bit too much. I prefer a watch that is a little more subdued. But if you are looking for a watch that will stand out, this one here will definitely do the trick. Just take a look at that case back with the depiction of the water entrance to the Arsenal of Venice. Flip it over, and peering through the anti-reflective coated sapphire crystal, you are greeted with a vertical Côte de Genève finished dial that would be hard to match at this price point. If you are unfamiliar with what Côte de Genève finish is, it's a very intricate finish produced by systematically engraving tiny scratches to create a decorative pattern into an already polished piece of metal. Sometimes called Geneva stripes or glasuto ribbing, the process is usually reserved for high-end watch movements and even sometimes done by hand. Can I tell them about the giveaway?
No.
Why not?
No, I'm gonna do that at the end of the video.
Can I at least ask them to subscribe?
Go ahead.
Hey guys, if you want to help the channel out, please consider liking and subscribing. Yes, as you just heard, thanks to the generosity of Venezianico, I am giving this watch away. But there is a catch. I'm going to hold it and use it for my 5K giveaway. To enter, all you need to do is leave a comment in this video and then head over and follow me on Instagram at BlueCollarLuxe. I know 5K is a ways away, but when the time comes, I will use a random comment picker to pick a comment from this video, confirm that that person is following me on Instagram, and then reach out to them. And you never know, it could be you. The art of storytelling is nothing new to the watch world, and in fact, for the most part, I would say for a lot of brands, it is paramount to their survival. Rolex could rest on their accomplishments alone, but they don't. Instead, they tell stories of triumph, like crossing the English Channel, reaching the top of Mount Everest, and surviving the depths of the deepest part of the Mariana Trench. Omega, space exploration and Bond films. The list goes on and on. Cartier, the first wristwatch / pilot watch. In fact, the story is sometimes so important that some will even lie. Take, for example, the claim that the 50 Fathoms was the first dive watch, beating the Submariner by more than a year. 2 seconds of research is all it takes for this story to be completely debunked. The importance of having a good story, a way for people to connect beyond the brand, this is something you rarely see with a micro brand, if ever. And Venezianico has done it with masterful precision. According to the internet, Venezianico has expanded its reach to over 100 countries, selling more than 20,000 units in 2023 and achieving 11 million in revenue in 2024. This is a brand that looks like it's 100% here to stay. And if you need proof, look no further than the V5000, their first manufacturer mechanical movement, entirely designed and manufactured in Italy. Now, to me, this is something to get excited about. Just take a look at that balance wheel. Reminds me of another big release I just recently covered where I got into detail about what makes a free-sprung balance special. By the way, I will link that video at the end of this one. 60 hours of power reserve, running at plus 3 seconds per day. Radial Côte de Genève finish done by hand for $4,500. Between the V5000 and the CW003 just released by Christopher Ward, I think that the high-end watch industry better take notice. Because while neither of these movements will steal enough food off the big boys' plates to leave them hungry, what they will do is make people realize just how much extra they are paying for that name on the dial. I want to leave you with this. According to Google Translate, Veneziano translates to Venetian, meaning someone from Venice. And eco is a Latin suffix that usually indicates something belonging to, meaning that if I am correct, Venezianico literally translates to belonging to Venice. I think that's pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching. Please smash that like button. Hit me up in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Don't forget to subscribe, and while you're at it, hit that bell to be notified for future videos. I'm James. This is Blue Collar Luxe, and I will see you in the next one.